Amber Bach.
And I'm John Gittings. Here's what's coming up next on PantherVision. A rise in armed robberies on campus.
I noticed a guy kind of following me.
What police say you can do to avoid becoming a victim.
Plus, a heartbreaking loss for the women's soccer team. We've got highlights from the game.
Also,
everything we see here dates back to 1963.
we'll take you inside the aging student union and tell you about the plans to build a new one.
All that and lots more on this week's edition of PantherVision.
From the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee, this is UWM PantherVision. A weekly newscast reported, written, and produced by students in the Department of Journalism and Mass Communication. And now, the news.
UWM police are investigating yet another attempted robbery near campus.
It happened on Thursday in the 2400 block of Kenwood. Police say a suspect implied he had a weapon and tried to steal the keys and vehicle of the victim. No property was taken, but the suspect escaped. Police say the attack happened shortly after a similar crime in the Shorewood area. Police are asking anyone with information to call 414-229-4627.
This is in the latest in a string of armed robbery attempts on or near campus. On November 4th alone, there were 4 of them. And as I found out, the push for safety around campus is becoming increasingly important. Students never want to feel unsafe on campus. That isn't the case for UWM senior Jabbar Muhammad, who has felt unsafe before.
I noticed a guy kind of following me, and by the time I got to the soccer field, 4 of the guys kind of joined him and kind of started surrounding the soccer field. But I got out of the situation because I was so close to, I knew I was close to the main street into Sandburg that when I made a left outside of the soccer field, they just dissipated as I figured they would.
He has advice for students.
Outside of knowing your surroundings, like I said, just know where your resources are, know where the phones on campus are in order for you to quickly call, know where the police station is. The police station's right at Sandburg, you head towards Sandburg. Most likely someone's not going to follow you there, know where the main streets are.
UWM Police Sergeant Brian Swatala wants students to pay attention when they're walking, especially alone.
You want to really be aware of your surroundings in that. Situational awareness is probably the key in that. And distracting things such as phones and MP3 or iPods, things of that nature, can take away from your senses, which could actually pick up something that may not feel right to you. So.
Yeah. UWM has a safety feature on campus known as the Blue Light Emergency Phone. There are approximately 152 of them on campus. In Milwaukee, I'm Amber Bach for PantherVision. Since the beginning of the school year, UWM police have issued 5 alerts to students about armed attacks in the campus area.
Carroll University students are being notified of a threat near campus. Last Tuesday, a man came up to a female student and grabbed her backpack and sleeve. The student was able to get away and continued to walk to her destination. The man did not try to follow her.
UW-Madison's chancellor is pushing a new tenure plan to the Board of Regents. Uncertainty about tenure is being sparked by the new language in a state statute that gives the UW system broader flexibility for terminating tenured faculty. The policy being proposed by Madison's chancellor spells out procedures for layoffs due to academic program discontinuation. It would not allow layoffs for budgetary problems, short of a campus-wide financial emergency.
The national spotlight will be on Milwaukee this week. The Republican presidential debate will be at the Milwaukee Theater. PantherVision's Emily Talapa tells us about the preparations.
Security is tight in downtown Milwaukee on the corner of Kilbourne Avenue and 6th Street. So tight, we weren't even allowed inside to film, according to Trace Goodrow, Director of Sales and Marketing at the Milwaukee Theater. The 4th GOP debate will be held here at the Milwaukee Theater. They've already begun constructing the set, says Goodrow. Not only is the theater getting ready, UWM students are too.
To get involved, I would advise them to kind of line up their own ideology, because there's so many different things that can influence your ideology as well, such as your family, your personal beliefs, your religion.
Students like Amirani Torres are getting involved in politics in order to better understand the presidential candidates.
I've been involved a lot in a lot of political orgs here on campus and off campus throughout the community, so that's kind of been where I've gotten all my information from.
Michael Hansen, graduate lecturer of political science at UWM, gives similar advice to his students. He says, in order to become informed on the presidential election, students should familiarize themselves with the general stances of the political candidates. In Milwaukee, I'm Emily Talapa for PantherVision.
The debate will be airing tomorrow night on Fox Business Network. We'll have complete coverage next week.
UW Stout students are going against agricultural theory. The environmental science students are attempting to grow food in lifeless soil that mimics the planet Mars. The idea came from a biology professor who realized that the plot of the top-grossing movie, The Martian, was almost entirely based on soil science. Starting with dead soil, the students added packing peanuts and Miracle-Gro as organic material to give it life. So far, they have planted potatoes, beans, rye, and parsley, and they're starting to see results.
The UWM Engineering Department is working on breakthrough energy technology. The work involves a microgrid prototype designed to fix energy compatibility problems. Microgrids combine various energy sources and use the one that's most efficient at the time. For example, on a windy day, turbines are used, but on a sunny day, solar panels are used. 3 UWM students are working on the project, 2 of whom were hired after graduation. It takes a lot of energy to power a university.
But is some of that energy wasted? PantherVision's Kat T has the full story.
What happens when class ends and campus buildings are closed for the evening? The computers are left on, overnight, using energy. Jacob Eben, one of the founders of the UWM Conservation Club, has a passion for saving energy on campus and is concerned about this.
And stuff, and having computers on for so long, wears out the hard drive and just the computer in general.
There are many problems related to leaving the computers on constantly, besides using energy.
I'm sure there's multiple reasons why the computers are slow, with age and updates and things like that. But it wouldn't surprise me if part of that is because the computers are constantly working and performing and heating up.
There are about 400 Dell desktop computers on campus. Ann Barles, another member of the Conservation Club, researched how turning off the computers for 8 hours a day would impact UWM's electricity usage.
By turning them off at night, we can save so much, around $5,000 annually just for the university savings, and then environmentally so much more.
The Student Affairs, along with 35 other departments on campus, have gone through the Green Office certification, meaning that the computers in those offices have a power management mode for the purpose of saving electricity. In Milwaukee, I'm Kat T for PantherVision.
UWM has been involved in a continuing initiative to conserve energy on campus since an executive order issued in 2005.
Milwaukee-based company Johnson Controls Incorporated is teaming up with UWM researchers to create a one-of-a-kind campus laboratory. It's located inside the Engineering and Mathematical Sciences building. Scientists are working side by side with UWM students to develop next-generation batteries. This so-called manufacturing dry lab is the only one in North America found on a college campus.
You may not know it, but UWM is supposed to be getting a new student union. The pre-designed work has been approved since May, but not much has been revealed about its progress. Jason Gerondale gives us an update.
The UWM Student Union, the center of campus life for most students. Age has taken its toll, however. In 2012, 72% of students voted in favor of an increase in tuition for a much-needed remodeling. Director of Campus Planning, Claude Schutte, updates the status.
Well, we're moving forward. It's going to be part of the capital budget for 17-19, but there's some other steps that have to take place. The Board of Regents wants to look at one more time, how it's being funded and how that funding is moving forward over the number of years it will take to pay for that facility.
When asked about the impact of recent budget cuts, Schutte explains the source of the funding.
I wouldn't say because of the budget cuts. I would say it's looking at how it's paid for through segregated fees, because the union's segregated fee funded project. Okay. So it's really to make it the most efficient way for students to spend their money.
One much needed update is the mechanical systems. Mike Schmidt, Assistant Director of Union Operations, details what the remodeling would entail.
All of these systems are past their useful date. Everything we see here dates back to 1963. Any large-scale union renovation, no matter if it's tearing down this section of the building or just doing a large-scale renovation of this area of the building, will require all of this equipment to be replaced.
If approved, construction will begin in 2020, ending in 2024. In Milwaukee, I'm Jason Drondale for PantherVision.
The new union will cost an estimated $143 million. Coming on next, PantherVision.
Fish are disappearing from Green Bay, and UWM researchers are figuring out why.
And later, where you can find free lunch and friendships on campus.
All that and more when PantherVision returns.
This is where powerful ideas lead to proven results. This is where you belong.
A strong, productive workforce. Building one requires proper education and training, not just for today, but for tomorrow. That's why for the last 100 years, thousands of successful workers wearing hats like these began their careers with this one hat.
Our fugitive has been on the run for 90 minutes. Average foot speed over uneven terrain, barring any injuries, is 4 miles per hour. What I need from each and every one of you is a full target search of every gas station, residence, warehouse, farmhouse, hen house, outhouse, and doghouse in that area. Your fugitive has just cashed in his 401k plan, and all he had to do was roll it over.
Learn about rollovers and protecting your financial future, and choose to save.
You can't mess with a big dog.
Thanks for watching UWM PantherVision, Judge Best Student Newscast by the Northwest Broadcast News Association. PantherVision is produced by students in the Department of Journalism and Mass Communication in association with Milwaukee Area Technical College.
An area of Lake Michigan has become a wasteland where even the fish cannot breathe.
But some UWM researchers are trying to do something about it. Dan Peters has more.
Then we want 25 mils of sample, and where did my gas ball go? When I see the lake, I think of power. It's always going to be impacting us in some form.
Shelby LeBoon was born and raised on Lake Huron, went to college on Lake Superior, and is earning her PhD on Lake Michigan with her study of hypoxia, commonly known as
dead zones. So dead zones are notorious because they have little to no oxygen in the bottom water. To the lab.
LeBoon's research is focusing on Green Bay's massive dead zone, which is the result of large amounts of polluting fertilizers, which create supercharged algae blooms.
And then it's when those algae die and then sink to the bottom water, causes consumption of oxygen.
At UW-Milwaukee's School of Freshwater Science, LeBoon is researching what drives dead zones and is part of a team developing best practices for farmers.
Everyone loves food and we need the farmers, but it's just a matter of managing their nutrients better as well as managing the runoff better.
Homeowners can protect the lake by applying lawn fertilizers conservatively and never before a rainstorm.
Excellent.
Overall, LeBoon wants us to realize our impact.
You can live 50 miles inland and see the lake twice a year, but what you do on your lawn or in your field impacts the water quality in Lake Michigan and in the Great Lakes as a whole.
In Milwaukee, I'm Dan Peters for PantherVision.
Research from the School of Freshwater Science shows that a 50% reduction in fertilizer runoff may be enough to begin healing Green Bay's dead zone. Milwaukee Public Television has a new general manager. Bodan Zachary accepted the position after currently GM Ellis Bromberg announced his retirement earlier this month. Zachary comes from KCET Link, which is based out of Burbank, California. UWM PantherVision uses the MPTV studio in conjunction with students at Milwaukee Area Technical College.
There's more reaction to a new MATC program, allowing some local students to attend for free. MATC's Scott Bowen has the story.
Today we're going to ask MATC students what they think of the new policy that will allow qualified high school students to attend MATC for free.
My thoughts on the Promise program is that it will provide access to students regarding tuition. That's the first part, I think. I think that it may be challenging for students right now because of the criteria to meet the expectations of the Promise program. However, I have high hopes for students next year who graduate from high school who will be better informed about what it would take to participate in the Promise program.
I think that the high school program is a tremendous program. The Promise program is a tremendous opportunity for high school students.
I think it's a beneficial program. Ultimately, any way that can help students more easily afford school should be implemented.
I think it's a great idea, a great program. I think it's overdue. We should have been doing it decades ago to allow a lot of young people that are still looking for focus, the resources to do something where they can actually focus their energies.
In speaking with the MATC community, it appears that opinion is largely in favor of the MATC Promise program.
Luis De Leon joins us with a look at our weather.
Thanks, how you guys doing?
Pretty good, how are you?
I'm doing all right, got to stay warm, starting to stay warm. Last week we did see some enjoyable days, some temperatures even in the 60s, very enjoyable, but this week we are starting to see a more active week than last week compared, so.
Yeah, but I gotta tell you, even though these 50-some degree days will be more than welcome in like January, February,
That's very true. As we go to your weather headlines, we're going to be seeing temperatures staying consistent this week, ranging throughout the 50s. As we hit the middle of the week, that is when we are going to start seeing the wet weather occurring throughout Wednesday into about Thursday night, but more on that in a bit. And of course, the winds are going to start out calm and pick up steadily over the week. So as we go to your current conditions, currently here in Milwaukee right now, 52 degrees with that sunshine shining as can be. 52 degrees right now is your temperature with the dew point at 33. As for the rest of the day, we are going to be seeing that sun sticking around, mostly sunny skies. Clouds may move in a little bit at times, but 0% chance of precipitation with that high. Not getting any much higher than we are already, so with a high of 55. As for your lows across the state, we are seeing temperatures ranging throughout the 30s, starting up north in Rhinelander with a low of 31, out west in Eau Claire 34, Green Bay 31, out west in La Crosse 37, Oshkosh 37, Madison area 32, and here in Milwaukee, as I said before, a low of 39. So for tonight, a quiet night, clear skies, low of 39. Winds coming out of the north at 5 to 10 miles per hour. As for tomorrow, mostly sunny skies with the temperature at 56 degrees. So a very similar day compared to today, with a high of 56 and winds coming out of the south-southwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. As for Wednesday, though, that's when we are going to start seeing that rain occurring, all that precipitation. Temperatures picking up just a little bit because of that rain, because of that front. High of 59 degrees with a low of 45. Winds coming out of the south at 10 to 20 miles per hour. For your extended forecast, as I said before, we are going to see that rain continuing really into Thursday night, but because of that warm air has moved out, it is going to bring in cooler temperatures for the rest of the week. Friday, mostly cloudy with a high of 45. Moving into your weekend, Saturday, mostly sunny with a high of 50, and Sunday with some cloud cover moving in, so mostly cloudy skies with a high of 48. So a little more active week, as I said before. So.
Will we need a raincoat at all, maybe?
Oh, you gotta always be prepared. So yeah, about Wednesday and Thursday, you're gonna need that lighter coat. So.
Definitely. Thanks a lot, Luis.
Yep.
Thanks. If you have ever been interested in the production of video games or animated movies, MATC just might have the major for you. Christian Kelly reports.
So John, being the 2D animation instructor here, what happens before animation takes place?
Generally what happens is an idea happens first.
and that could be for animation and television, it could be for games, it could be advertising, and a script is written up. Generally, a treatment is written first, which is the story or the concept in prose form, and then a script is generated. A lot of times, at the same point that a script is being generated, they'll work on designs, so character designs, background designs, and so those two things are working in tandem, and then they go into production from there.
What are the initial steps that you go through?
Initial animation, once you've got your concept, once you've got your script, and your designs, you go into the storyboard phase. So generally speaking, the storyboard precedes any animation taking place. The storyboard determines exactly what the shots are going to be, what the action is going to be, what the settings are going to be. It's mostly digital here at MATC. We're working on Cintiqs. So once you get into the production phase where you're actually doing the animation, the first thing you do is the keyframing, which is the major motions of any given animation. So the keyframe gets done first, and it's usually done in a rough form. The keyframing gets done rough. And then you clean up your keyframes and do in-betweens. So the keyframes are the major motions. The in-betweens then carry you from one to the next, and then post-production after that.
Coming up, heartbreak at Engelman.
And there's no need to skip lunch to save a few bucks.
All that and more coming up next on PantherVision.
This is where powerful ideas lead to proven results. This is where you belong.
Minds can achieve anything. We make sure they get to college. Federal student aid provides more than $150 billion in grants, loans, and work-study funds to make college possible for anyone with the mind to get there. Because if given the chance, minds will do great things. Federal Student Aid, proud sponsor of the American Mind. Learn more about money for college at studentaid.gov.
The Surgeon General issued this warning because smoking causes lung cancer. The Surgeon General issued this warning because radon can cause lung cancer. Radon is an invisible radioactive gas that seeps inside your home from underground. Protect your family. Have your home tested. Call 1-800-SOS-RADON. Radon problems can be fixed.
Thanks for watching UWM PantherVision, judged Best Student Newscast by the Northwest Broadcast News Association. PantherVision is produced by students in the Department of Journalism and Mass Communication in association with Milwaukee Area Technical College.
The UW-Milwaukee women's soccer team's postseason run comes to an end before it begins.
And the men's basketball team shows promise in its first game. Emily Talapa has more in sports. Emily?
Thanks, guys. The Panthers end their season 11-3-4 after a shootout loss to Wright State. The loss puts an end to the Panthers' bid into the Horizon League tournament hosted here at UWM. Brett Wipazinski reports.
UWM women's soccer team is the first seed in this year's Horizon Soccer Championship. And as Olivia Wright says, they are happy and hopeful.
I think it's pretty cool. Last year we didn't even make it to the tournament, so it's big to have my first experience be at home and everything, so it's pretty cool. Yeah, it's awesome.
After a quick warm-up, rain signaled the beginning of Milwaukee's playoff run. With the fans' excitement, the game started on an even playing field until the 26th minute, with a goal from junior midfielder Mariah Stevens. The Panthers stayed in the lead for 56 minutes until the equalizing goal from Wright State. The Panthers then struggled through double overtime, where they lost in a final PK shootout. The loss is a crushing upset for the first-seeded ladies. Along with the sadness of defeat and their playoff dreams destroyed, the rain poured again. For Milwaukee, I'm Brett Wipazinski.
Despite the heartbreaking loss, the Lady Panthers net themselves 7 postseason awards. Cassidy Blanchard won Defensive Player of the Year and a spot in the first-team All-League with teammate Maria Stevens. 4 Milwaukee players were named second-team All-League. Kelly Swenson made the All-Freshman team. First-year Coach Troy Fabiano was named Horizon League Coach of the Year. The UWM men's and women's swim and dive teams headed to the Windy City for this past weekend for 2 meets. The men and Lady Panthers go 1-1 in their doubleheader, both teams beating Wheaton but coming up short in their matches with UIC. The Halverson brothers combined for three wins for men's swimming in their loss to UIC. Nick taking first in the 200 IM and the 200 in the backstroke. His brother Tim taking first in the 500 freestyle. Rachel Mergetz also swept the 1 and 3 meter dive for the 3rd straight time this season for women's diving. A dominating performance for the UWM men's basketball team. In an exposition game, the Panthers crushed UW Parkside 81-62 on Thursday. The Panthers took the lead early after shooting 10 of the team's 13 three-pointers in the first half alone. Matt Tybee scored a team-high 21 points in the win. The Panthers opened the regular season November 13th in California when they faced Santa Clara. That's it for sports. Back to you.
Since 1978, tuition has risen 1,120%.
Some students cut costs by skipping lunch.
But as Emily Zanto reports, one UWM organization aims to change that.
The floor below Naraya Olson gets a bit loud on Wednesdays.
One date last semester we had 220 students come.
But that's okay, because Olson is the Lunch Bunch coordinator for the University Christian Ministries and lives above the ministry's main floor.
I am here from 11 to 2 o'clock, here setting up and cleaning up.
Lunch Bunch is a free lunch just off campus open to UWM students on Wednesdays during the semester. Although it's loud, UCM's minister, Alan McAllister, hopes Lunch Bunch can provide students with a break from school.
For a time of just relaxation and to enjoy meeting other people.
Whether students have been coming for years,
I started coming here back in probably like 2011, like when I heard about it from one of my friends.
Or
this is my first time.
Everyone can agree a home-cooked meal is a break from the school day.
Good food. It's been a while since I've had a home-cooked meal.
And Olson is just happy with the growing turnout.
It started off with like 15 people just around a table.
In Milwaukee, I'm Emily Zanto for PantherVision.
Each week, Milwaukee area churches collaborate to provide food for upwards of 150 students for Lunch Bunch. Leftover food is made available to the public during the last part of the event.
Thank you for tuning in for tonight's edition of PantherVision.
You can watch us on Time Warner Channel 14 and AT&T U-verse Channel 99 on Wednesday at 5:30 and Thursday at 3 o'clock, and again at 10:30 on Saturday and Sunday mornings.
Have a great week.